It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Chief, Bart Brunchine.
The Chief from the Dice Tower. I just set the Marvel Legendary deck building game down on the table, and I heard some shifting. All right, this is what we're going to talk about. Real quick, wearing my Zombicide t-shirt. Hello. The game was supposed to be here 2 months ago, Zombicide Season 2. We'll talk later. Although this shirt shrunk and I'm kind of like Pooh Bear in it, but I won't show you that. Sorry. Marvel Legendary, what is it? Deck building game. It's hard for me to explain it. It's kind of like an Ascension, the way it builds. But you've got so many different heroes that I don't know if that's an apt comparison anymore. But just know it's a very nice art. Deck building game, 5 heroes, usually 5 heroes working against a mastermind, and then just kind of the number system that follows some deck builders. We'll go in and take a closer look, then we'll come out and I'll give you my opinions. All right, Marvel Legendary, I've got the board out. And the first thing I'm going to show you, however, is the insert. By the way, these are hero clicks. My boy just likes to have, this happens to be Colossal and Blade. He just likes to have them out on the board. They have nothing to do with the game, but just, they look cool. And that's actually one real quick side aspect of it. In this game, you're not playing a single hero. What you're doing is kind of an amalgamation of 5 of them. And depending on the abilities they have, the different cards that'll be in your deck. All my heroes are here. I'll get into that in a second, but that's one thing where this game does miss on feel for me. All right, so real quick, you can tell, I'm going to go into, I'll show you some of these dividers, but these are my masterminds. These are my henchmen, my villains. Then I've got my schemes back here, my scheme twists. Down here I have my shield officer, and then it leads into preset starter decks for up to the 5 players for what you start with. Wounds, bystanders, and then all my heroes over here. Everything's alphabetized, but let me show you real quick. I'll just pull out Angel. All right, so these are the dividers I made. They're helpful. The other ones are junk, I'm telling you. These, please, upper deck, you dropped it. The main thing you need is, you know, I could have written it in Sharpie, but here's Angel, okay? I'll get in and show you the cards in a bit. So here's Angel. This tells you what faction he's with. So X-Men. This is a red card, which is covert. A green card, which is strength, if I remember right. Obviously the Hulk fist. This is instinct, a yellow card. And then he's got another, it's kind of showing you the ratio of the kind of cards he has. All right, and you get this just by looking down all my heroes. I took this up to you, and you can see kind of what you're getting when you now throw that hero into your group. And this game took me longer to set up. It took me a lot longer to put it away. And I didn't always know, just when I was starting out, you know, where our weaknesses were or who might we want to add. And it was real hard to even thumb through and find who I was looking for. I've saved, God knows why, but I saved what they provided as a divider. But I went to Kinko's, spent, you know, 15 bucks making these. They should have been in the game. All right, enough said. That was just highly irritating. Basically, your mastermind is going to have a set of 4 cards here, and it's going to tell you on the mastermind card what you have to do to defeat him. The scheme sits here, and the scheme's going to tell you what's going on. Are they just trying to take over the world? Are they trying to open a portal, you know, to some bad area in time or space? Are they doing a bank robbery? And then you've got a deck of your villains here that's all mixed in, and your deck of your 5 heroes here, usually 5. Some schemes, there's one scheme that tells you to do 6. And then you've got 5 cards sitting out here that are your heroes that you're going to be drafting. Everybody can draft from here into their hand. And then the way this works, and I know there's been some other reviews on this, Tom did a great one, is basically you're flipping over a card and you're moving from the sewers, the bank, the rooftops, the streets, the bridge, and they're just marching down. So if you're killing them off or taking them to jail, they'll pop off. But every time someone gets a turn, a bad guy comes out. And if one of them were to get proverbially pushed off of this, they've escaped and they're up here. And depending on your scheme twist, there'll be rules and stuff that'll govern, you know, what happens. It's always bad. You end up having to KO one of the heroes down in here if they escape. And if they escape with a bystander tucked underneath them, it's even worse for you. Yeah, I've chosen Dr. Doom as our mastermind just to show you the setup. The text here is going to govern what the rules are going to be for him when a mastermind card, which there's a set of 5 of these that get shuffled into the villain deck. And this tells you what's going to happen when one of those cards comes up. What you'll have to do in order to win is defeat these 4 cards below him. And what they do that's real unique is, first of all, this covers 9 is how much damage you're going to have to do in order to take out or take a hit at Dr. Doom. And then the text is always a little bit different on what happens after you do the fight. Oftentimes they're good things that happen for you, sometimes they're bad, and it allows a lot of kind of contextual flavor for the individual villain. And that is very nice how that's worked in. And of course they're shuffled, so you never quite know what card you're going to be dealing with. And if you got a lot of masterminds, I actually even kind of forget. But it really helps with the theme. So you've selected your mastermind, and that's how the mastermind is going to work. There is a little text that'll oftentimes say, depending on this, you know, what villain or henchman you're going to use. In this case, Doombots are going to be added into the villain deck. So they have a specific thing that also helps with the theme of the character. Next, you pick a scheme twist. This one is Unleash the Power of the Cosmic Cube. And what you're looking at here is how many twists. It's a card that looks just like this. 8 twists will be shuffled into the villain deck. And when they come up randomly through the deck, you're going to be putting them out on the board. And as they get worse and worse, you'll start to take wounds. Then when you hit your 7th, everyone takes 3 wounds. And then when the 8th twist card comes out, you lose. And a twist card just looks like this. So it has the same kind of art without the text. So it tells you to pull out 8 of these, and you're going to shuffle them into the deck. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. I've got it set up just for a 2-person game. So here's our 8 scheme twist cards. 5 mastermind cards will go in, just 2 bystander cards. I had to take the Doom bots, or something that you have to add in since you have Dr. Doom, and then I just selected my 2 other villain decks. This is just random unless you're told by a scheme twist or by a mastermind to pick something. So I just selected these and threw them on in there. These all get shuffled together, and then they'll go over and they'll make up my villain deck pile. The heroes are done in very much the same way. You just select 5 out. There is one scheme that allows you or requires you to have 6 heroes. I just selected, you know, I kind of just pulled them out at random. Cable, the super rare card, there's only one of this. It's going to cost you 8. Text will tell you what it does. It's usually some kind of bonus. He'll do 5 damage. And what you notice is there's actually no border around the card. The other cards will have a border. So like this is a red border, which tells you it's covert. Blue border is going to match in with a ranged weapon. So it's matching the symbol that's going to be right below whatever faction they're in. This little like UPC sign or whatever is a little black border, and that has to do with having like high technology. And so you can see how it correlates in. You've always got your cost, the damage they do, or if they have stars, it's what they're going to be able to purchase. You use stars to purchase additional heroes. You use slashes like Wolverine's Claw. It tells you how much damage you're going to be able to do to the villains. All right, so I've still got everything laid out here. These would be shuffled together and placed on the villain deck. The heroes are all shuffled together, placed on the hero deck, and then 5 of them are put out. Just real quick to walk you through without showing you, a turn is simply you take the top card off the villain deck, you'll set it down right here. You'll have 6 cards drawn in your hand. You start off with 4 shield troopers and 8 shield agents. The agents allow you to make purchases. They have the stars, and the troopers allow you to do damage to villains. Obviously, those guys are very weak in the beginning. The troopers do 1 damage, and the agents have 1 star. So what you're oftentimes doing, sometimes you can't even fight the guys, the villains in the early stages. So you're just buying the heroes, which you've got, like I explained earlier, your heroes are spread out down here. You buy whatever you can, kill whatever you can, or whatever. Discard, draw a hand a new 6, next guy's turn. And it just rotates around and around and around. All right, we're back. First of all, let me tell you, I've been playing the heck out of this. I play it 2-player. At my board game group meeting, I taught it 3-4 times. I had a crowd kind of coming over. People were attracted to it that aren't normally board gaming with us. They're usually doing Magic. I think there was a tournament coming on, and I had some people wander over from that. Great game, love it. It's difficult to win. You know, there's it depends on your hero combination. Sometimes I whoop it, and we're just like, wow, that was. I've actually had guys it's their first play going, that was kind of easy. And I'm like, nah, it's not usually that way. As you saw, you can pick multiple different masterminds. I do have Dark City in here. Fantastic Four's ordered and on its way. But this game, I don't know, it's kind of like Sybil. I think the movie from 1973. All right, I'll throw a little shot in here to show you what I'm talking about. It's like multiple personalities. Sometimes I love it, and other times I'm like, what in the world's going on? You know, I'm playing it, and I'm like, these things don't match. And I got like the mean multiple personality character coming out and cursing me or something. I'm just like, ugh, okay? And by that I mean, you'll mix your heroes together. You know, I'll have someone sit down and say, hey, throw in X, Y, Z, whatever. And as we're playing, they're just not comboing well. And when that happens, to me, the game just feels kind of mathy, you know? Now when it's not doing that, you know, I'm playing this thing 3-4 times a night and just going, wow, you know, and then I'm getting my combos rolling, which is, you know, that excitement in all deck builders where I'm going, whoo, look at that, or wow, I can pull this off, or wow, I need to get that card, and then I think, and then bam, it happens, and you're like, whoop, okay? And sorry, that was kind of crazy. And when that happens, I love this game. But then, like, you know, the other multiple personality comes out and it says, yeah, and it slaps you around a little bit. Okay, and then I'm like, ooh, this isn't fun. And we get whooped right away. And I don't want to go in and just preset it. You know, I mean, I've done it a few times. Hey, let's just play the Avengers. Hey, let's just play some X-Men. And sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes it works great. And as more and more cards come out, I think it's just going to continue like that. So sometimes, awesome. Sometimes I feel abused and cheated and tricked. And like, wow, why didn't we play something else? And then I say, let's play it again. But let's switch up the mastermind. Or let's switch up the scheme twist. Or we took so many wounds, let's play the exact same thing, but let's throw the Hulk in there. That I actually like doing. You know, I'll play it with the almost the exact same hero crew, same mastermind, same scheme twist, but we'll say, you know what we needed on that one? We needed this hero. We needed Jean Grey. You know, Nightcrawler, love him, teleporting all over the place. So, and then I'm back in love with it again, okay? So, art's beautiful, all right? It's like Sybil with Christina Hendricks. I'll watch that all day long, okay? All day long, hey, yeah, woo, okay? Wow, Sybil with Christina Hendricks. Chief, see you guys, bye.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.